gun crime in the United States. More than 13,000 people were killed by guns in the United States last year. There were 372 mass shootings, 64 of which were in schools. Just astonishing figures. Despite all that, the Columbine school massacre still stands out. In April 1999, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris went into their school in Colorado and killed 12 fellow pupils and a teacher who tried to protect them before killing themselves. They'd planned to blow up the whole school. Now Klebold's mother, Sue, has written a book about how she came to terms with what her son had done, with profits going to mental health charities. Speaking to the BBC, she described how she felt as the news came through.
We could hear through the window the television that had been left on. And I remember at that point thinking, if Dylan is really doing this, he must stop. And at that moment is when I really, I prayed for him to die. I mean, I thought something has got to stop this. This is whatever it is that's going on. It took me a very long time to believe, months to believe, that my son was actually responsible for killing and hurting people.
Well, Sue Klebold is also the inspiration for a new play written and produced by students at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, looking at parent-child relationships and how the families of the killers coped in the years that followed. Our reporter Dan Welsh went to meet the cast for their final rehearsals.
Shorter fuse, added nails, deadly. Wouldn't want to be next to one of these when it blows up. Wouldn't want to be.
It was one of the most notorious events in modern-day America. The Columbine massacre shocked the country, sparking debate on subjects ranging from gun control laws and bullying to the influence of violent video games and rock music.
When we're dead, there's none of this good and evil. Just right and wrong.
Now, a new play based on the events is opening in Cardiff, and perhaps surprisingly, it's a musical.
We take out all our stuff, we have our guns and ammunition, and take them to the place we choose, and there fulfill our mission. That's when we'll be turning heads. We take the...
Well, I'm here at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama and have just seen parts of the final rehearsal of the play. We've got all sorts of costumes and props here. We've got about 12 actors and actresses all getting ready and learning their final routines. And I'm joined here by Michael Lowe, who is the writer and composer for the play. First of all, how did the idea for this play come about?
I read a book called Far From the Tree, and it was a collection of stories about different parents of children who had committed atrocities like the high school massacre at Columbine and things like that. And there was a section in the book about the mother of Dylan Klebold, who was one of the boys at Columbine. And sort of reading her story, I became very intrigued. As I read further, it struck me that her story would be a great basis for a musical.
Okay, great. Let's have 5 minutes.
Hi, I'm Beth Wischusen and I'm playing Sue Klebold. It's really hard to try and capture that maternal instinct that Sue clearly has. It's adapting that and then managing to really, her confusion as to why he did this, because, they're supposed to be that mother and son relationship, which is quite powerful.
Our kids weren't on the football team. They didn't compete in gymnastics or play in bands, so we never...
Were you concerned at all that, with the subject matter, that it might cause offence?
Yeah, it was a concern at the beginning, and one of the first discussions that we had to have, of course, is what do you do about the event itself? How do you do that in a musical? And the result that we all came to was that it needs to be about the people.
Did you see any similarities between their parenting style and your own? They weren't that different to us as a family.
Even in the last year, we've seen such an attempt at change in the USA with things that President Obama has been trying to achieve with gun control. And it still seems to be a difficult thing to achieve. It's been quite relevant in our rehearsal room, actually, because we have some cast members who are American.
I'm Andrew McGowan, and I'm playing John in the Columbine chorus. I'm from Dover, Delaware, in the United States.
How significant was it when you were growing up in America when it happened?
Well, when it happened, I was about 6 or 7, so I didn't know exactly what was going on. But eventually, growing up, you saw more and more these events happening, and it almost became, in a sense, normal, but in an awful way saying that. I hope that eventually it will get better, but as of right now, it seems very much at a 50-50 standstill.
Andrew McGowan. And students at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, ending that report from Dan Welsh. And Columbine is performed at the college tonight.